feeling of leaving a major interstate connected city for the wide open countryside, the rural areas is lovely. Oh my God. Gives me that feeling of when I left Key West and found myself on a bus heading up into the rural parts of Florida and on into Georgia, eventually for the Appalachian Trail, to go from the worldly, cosmopolitan, sensory overload wonderland in Key West to the purity of the grand design, God's creation. 2 lessons, quick lessons. I can do the deep thoughts with Jack Candy kind of thing here. Doing the deliveries in a weird city I don't really know at all. 2 things is, 1, you need to listen for each step the GPS gives you, and that's the same in our relationship with the Holy Spirit. You don't need to know 9 steps ahead how to get to I-90, or 9 steps ahead on how our daughters are going to get jobs or go out in the world. I would like to know at least 2 or 3 steps ahead, but it seems like it's 1 step at a time. If you're faithful to follow the first, then the next one is revealed. And the other lesson would be, we often need to humble ourselves and ask for directions. Something as simple, it can save me 10 to 15 minutes in a store simply by asking an associate where something is located. And often they walk you right to it. At first I hate doing that because I don't feel like I'm as good of a shopper. But a moment later I'm like, I'm actually a better shopper because I'm getting things to the customer a lot faster. And there's a feeling of more of a softness. When I'm such an edgy, time-sensitive kind of hyper person, it can feel relieving to admit that you're not right, that you don't know. I need help. Just a little bit of help. It just makes you feel more soft and empathetic toward others and patient toward others. 90% of the time I do it all on my own. I don't ask for help, blah, blah, blah. But we need that little bit on the edge to, hey, yo, where the heck do you find these 3/8" dowel sticks in Walmart? Or whatever it might be. Pulling into a rest area, I think. I need to stretch. Josiah might need to use the facilities. We have some really good memories of rest areas. Car with trailer, truck.
For about 78 miles, continue straight.
I will after I take a rest, man. Please, Richard, stop yelling at me. I got some business to take care of. Then I'll get on to Butte, stay in that Airbnb Victorian house upstairs in that grandma's bed. What do you think about that, Joe? Rest area. There we go. Had a lovely rest area here. Had a good bite to eat at the Taco del Sol, South Missoula. It was definitely time to change the channel, make the transition toward Butte. I read this a little bit ago. Madison limestone and the Garnet Mountains. Lots of limestone came out of this area, as well as gold, silver, and copper. Probably about 130 years ago at this point. Oh, it's so good to be back out in more of the open land. My favorite. Sounds like a good place though to pull over. Pull up the address on GPS for the Airbnb. Granite Street. So we've had platinum, titanium. They warned GPS if it was winter or late fall to not take the GPS route up Copper to the top of the hill where the haunted, oh yeah, those, look at there. Oh. Yeah, interesting Motel 6 Expo Parkway in Missoula. Let's pretend it's a Subaru. So the house is on the hill. Again, Copper Street at sunset, mid-October, here in Butte. I mean, who knew this was all here? Obviously, I didn't. Wow. Over here's what's called the House on the Hill. Can be seen from all over the city, people say. And that's where we're staying, up on the second floor in the Pacific Mist room. And it goes incredibly steeply down there. You'll never figure that the scale is hard to catch. Huh. Interesting. What a really trip. Huh, this is set way back from the front of the street entrance. So they're doing a lot of remodeling apparently. Whew, feeling, oh my God, the old bar. Feeling like I'm in a dream, I'll tell you. I'm in a movie, I'm in a dream, I'm in another era. My goodness. This is the view, the surroundings of the house on the hill, the Airbnb place we're staying. Me and Josiah. Check out that rig. I mean, insane. It's all lit up all red all night long. There's like half a dozen that I've seen just in town. It's like being in Texas or Huntington Beach, California. You still see oil rigs. These are copper mining, likely. This is the approach hill, another one. There's 3 or 4 ways to get up to the top of one of the steepest hills I've ever been on, including San Francisco and Seattle. That there is the house. We're gonna pull up. I'm gonna load up the car. Honey, I'm home. Housekeeping. Your breakfast is served. Seriously, Joe? You're not actually enjoying that show, are you? I liked the hunt for Red October last night. That was cool. Dude, this place was built on minerals, especially copper. Joe, do you have any idea how valuable copper is now? Because it's in all these electrical wires and pipes now. Groups of guys, girls too, go under buildings, cut pipe, steal your pipes right from under you, and you don't even know it until you try to turn it on and everything. The water and stuff. It's worth so much to recycle and sell. All right, we're gonna go down copper against the advice of the instructions on Airbnb. Oh dear. I hope it didn't ice up overnight, Joe. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Shift down, lower gear, lower gear. Look to your right, mirror somebody else coming down faster from the other hill. Okay, I think we're on Montana Street, Montana Drive or Avenue or whatever it is. Here we go, down the rainy drive. This place has more atmosphere than should be allowed. This building is so San Francisco to me, or Port Townsend. It's the Butte School District Curriculum Office. It didn't used to be. Sorry, buddy. I'll try to pick up. Wait, people who live and have real lives here. I'm just a tourist and I'm complaining about them. Sad, really sad. Butte Academy of Beauty Culture. What is that? Look at this building. Oh my gosh, it's so YMCA. Whoa. I mean, I'm in another time, another place. That's the motel for me. I don't think it's open. It is. No, it's not. It actually has chicken wire all over the front of it. This rain is always a fun thing to try to contend with. Montana Tech. This is a university, a college, Joe, for technical stuff. Wow, that I believe is a copper extraction rig. I don't know what the technical name is. Look at all those stairs. Hopefully they didn't put the controls at the very top. Run upstairs, turn it off. That would be a bad thing. it's time to leave Butte, things started getting tense. Lest anyone think that all these trips that I take are all just la-di-da, ha-ha. It's in honor of Diane Keaton. I guess Annie Hall, la-di-da. They're not. There was some tension between Joe and myself. He was getting real uncomfortable, legs and back and so forth, sitting in the car while I was trying to sightsee downtown driving. He is so patient, actually, to put up with me when I think about it. With all my stops and hesitations and geeky things I like to do. So I had to make that irritable decision I had to make about leaving downtown when there's just so much else to see, so many more photos to take, stairwells going up the sides of 7-story brick buildings from the late 1890s to let those absorb into my bloodstream and into my soul. It's never enough. It's just never enough. So, as people always say, I'll have to come back on my own or come back with Liel. But we did get a spark order at Walmart. I needed to go there anyway. It's a $30 order, and this is where I see divine intervention. It's an order going 29 miles, but it's going to Anaconda, which happens to be totally on the way home, and I wanted to swing through that town anyway. There's that smokestack up there. That is so eerie. It's like a compelling image. Reminds me of Coit Tower in San Francisco. It's actually quite beautiful here. Family Dollar. Oh my goodness, this is so awesome. This is so far off the highway. That's what's kind of amazing. That this is still this cool looking when it's so far off the highway. Had a really good lunch at, was it Jorge's Cantina or Jordy's, Jordy, Cantina there on the main drag there, and I'm so glad we spontaneously tried it out. It was a nice little small open bar, southwestern colors, but 4 or 5 TV screens with sports, women's wrestling, women's basketball. The Packers were playing above Josiah's head. Back a couple streets now, parallel with the main drags here on 4th Street. These houses remind me so much of those row houses in like Pennsylvania or Appalachian kind of industrial town. Owl Bar. Big sign there saying Anaconda Strong, community coming together. That same poster is on several of the boarding row type houses here. lighting is so good. Tailwinds. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We're heading on, I think it's Highway 48 between Anaconda and Deer Lodge. Drummond, Montana, halfway between, I guess, Anaconda and Missoula, more or less. We almost stayed here the other night, but then I found out that it was just so far from where I would be working in Missoula doing my delivery work, and I didn't feel good about leaving Joe there in a place not familiar, but it looked like a pretty cute Airbnb room at the iconic Palace Hotel right there. That's it right there. I think that we would have stayed up in one of those rooms. Quite a view over there. Yeah, not amazing. Man, these towns used to be so booming. You can just feel that they're still so cool. But how do you make a living here? Not really easy anymore. Maybe a good place to have a house and then work in town. I guess people do that. Might go off. I hope not. Bathroom, bathroom, bathroom.
When I was a teenager, I remember a page from High magazine with a pop art layout of live rock festival that took place in Northern California, a 3-day event called the Monterey International Pop Festival. And I saw the subsequent movie at an art house cinema in Toronto when I was 15. That, for me, was the movie that put it all together. This was something I wanted to be part of. The flower children were young and innocent and free and idealistic. They were the sons and daughters of what Tom Brokaw called the greatest generation, as their parents had lived through and fought the Depression in World War II. The generation that followed, the true baby boomers, lived through and fought the next age, the Eisenhower years of conformity and suburban boom times.
Finally, heading north to Kalispell and all the towns on the way, like Polson, St. Ignatius, Ronan, and Arley. Oh, and Bigford.
Earlier that same year, the terrible roll call of rock drug casualties began with Brian Jones, overdosing and drowning in a swimming.
Got about 2 hours to go on this very beautiful but moody day of weather. About 6:15 in the evening. Josiah's all lounged out over here in the passenger seat. I have to keep playing with the wipers. And just Rocky Mountain rain is weird. It's hammering down for a couple minutes, and then it's sputtering with just like leftover drops from a different storm, and you can't ever just leave your wipers on or off for very long.
At different periods of my development as a drummer, I was directly guided by Don George and Freddie Gruber, but indirectly, my inner 16-year-old would forever be inspired by, among countless others. In the cool overcast, I filled up with gas at the truck stop, then headed east again on I-10.
What'd you have at the restaurant? Oh, a waffle. How many packets of sugar you put on that there waffle? 2? Only 2, that's good. I thought you were going to do 3 or 4, so I guess we're making progress. What the heck did I have? You don't know. Huevos rancheros with bison chorizo. Now we're getting close to St. Ignatius 9-type wildlife reserve. Lots of waterfowl there. We've been there a few times. And it's also near the bison range, so it'll should be no problem getting wheel to this place. Let's go check out at dusk here the St. Ignatius Mission. I think it's a Native American settlement, but it has a missionary background, the Catholic style missions. And I haven't, something about, I've already got all excited about history again when I went to Butte, but this Neil Peart stuff too, he's really into history and learning who the people were that settled places, and you know, bringing all that history book stuff to life through, you know, the characters, and also wiping away stereotypes, realizing that people are real multi-dimensional and unpredictable. You think you got them pigeonholed and categorized and labeled, and the more you travel, the more that goes away, the more that all falls away. You meet people and talk to them, you find out just how individual each person is. Wow, this is interesting. There's a place like this in Brazil, I remember, near Paranagua. But anyway, St. Ignatius Mission, built 1891, National Historic Site established in 1973. Oh, that's the year the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road came out. Has nothing to do with it, but that's how my brain works.
The white blanket beneath the desert flora in spring bloom, a bright frosting on the branches of the creosote, green with tiny yellow flowers, the slender stems of the ocotillo hung red blossoms. In these lower elevations, the snow melted on contact with the pavement, so the park road remained dark and wet as I drove slowly along, sensing where I might see.
Quite fun to listen to. His book is called Traveling Music. Gotta get credit, get the audiobook. It's really thoughtful and stirs the soul. It's been fun to wind through the night on these very wet roads. Very curvy. The car is handling incredibly well as I do that. Lovely, graceful, I hope, liquid dance between the accelerator pedal and the brake. All very unconscious until Neil Peart went through a section on his audio. But for me, driving is at its best one of the most wonderful, satisfying, beautiful endeavors a man can undertake. No way. Yes, exactly. Gen Xers, we only use the paper towel.
We met some of your teammates come in today. They tried to say hi to you, but you were focused on something else. What are your folks?
Oh, yeah, kids. Oh, yeah.
Woody's. It's a great landmark. What should I do? It's too late for that. It's 8 o'clock. Almost home. I'll get some cocoa for Joe. Give him a little surprise. Oh, God, where have we been? Where have we been? Where have we been? What the heck are you cooking over there? Oh my goodness. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Cheese, black beans, and a toast. Yay! Joe's bed up there. Yay! He's like, yay, I get to lay in a different position, a different place.
Oh, the kitty!
Kitty baby! Kitty baby! Kitty, 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 kitty! Hello! Hi! Oh, hi! Oh. Oh, look how cute. The beautiful calico. Hey guys. I just came by to see if you had done your dishes. I think I'll go to Canada now. What are you doing back here?
Chilling.
Do not take a photo of me. No, don't do that.
I would never take a photo, just a video.
Welcome back.
You're
Took
welcome.
you long enough.
You guys didn't respond once to anything. You did one
I
time.
did.
You did, but not today. Spouse, are you home or are you out hiking? Spouse. Spouse. Oh, what are you watching? You're home. Oh. I thought you'd be on the party trail. So we got back home to our home base in Columbia Falls about 8:30 last night, going through a lot of refreshing rain on real satisfying curvy, slopey roads going up the east side of Flathead Lake in the dark, listening to audiobook by Neil Peart. Back home now. Had to run Josiah to school because he forgot to set his alarm and missed the bus. About to tie up the big trip to Missoula, Butte, and Anaconda, mainly Missoula and Butte, with a fascinating stopover in Anaconda for a couple hours. Did I earn enough money on the delivery shopping apps to pay for the trip? I made a good amount of the expenses of the trip, but not the whole amount. I made $189, 31 on Instacart, 36 Uber Eats, 51 on DoorDash, and 71 Spark, Walmart, while in Missoula especially, and also Butte, the most interesting of that being Butte to Anaconda, 30-mile run. It was on the way home anyway. That paid for the first night's hotel room at Motel 6, which was a highly overpriced thing for what we got. And it paid for about 2/3 of the gasoline to go to Butte and back. Much I am made for the road, for travel, for sightseeing, not sightseeing in terms of beautiful scenery as much as the history, old towns, the industrial leftover wasteland from a greater time like in Montana. Butte was a complete mind-blowing experience. That alone made the trip worth it. I'm desperate to go back on my own, where I'm able to really be a history student and a total geek in Butte and Anaconda also. But we'll have to wait on that a little bit. And the other success, I think, if I want to think in terms of success, is that it was fun being with my son. He was exposed, whether he knows it or not, to just a lot of cool stuff. The environment, the atmosphere of that 500-mile round trip, in so many different kinds of neighborhoods and so many different kinds of settings. I just got to pray that a lot of the things I would mention to him, the comments I'd make, the things I'd point at, because he would look up constantly, looking up from his iPad, and he would be really staring at like the copper mining rigs that were left behind in Butte. And it's just time together with his dad, going out to the lunches and just spending time side by side for so many hours. I got to pray that that soaks in and it does something good for his soul, and it makes it easier for him someday to really believe in a heavenly Father, one that he can trust and rely on. And I'm such an inconsistent, flaky dad on the earth in so many ways, in practical ways, I think, with my kids. But I am loyal. I'm present. I think I model how to get along with people and interact with folks in the world the way I have an imagination, and I'm hoping that happens. That it isn't something I can control. It's really something that only the Spirit can make happen in His mind and heart.